Hi guys, welcome back to my channel, and today we will be making a chicken Kiev, not any old chicken Kiev. We will be making a nacho cheese, and what we will do is stuff the chicken with a gooey nacho cheese, and I'm going to coat it with crispy nachos and panko crumb. And if you enjoy this video, please like and subscribe, and that will help me so much. Thank you and enjoy this video. Right, to start off we're making a cheese sauce. So first we need to make a roux, which will be an equal amount of butter to flour. We're just going to melt this butter down. And then we're going to add the flour and cook the flour out. So I'm just going to melt this butter down slowly on a medium heat. I've got 50 grams of butter and 50 grams of flour. I've used salted butter. I'll let it melt. You can use a whisk or wooden spoon, it doesn't matter, as long as there's no lumps in it. Right, so that's the butter. You can hear it sizzling. And then you add the flour. And cook the flour out. And then I'm going to add some milk. I've got 500 ml of milk. Just put a little bit in, mix the butter. It'll thicken it up straight away. Then add more milk to the butter. It'll still be lumpy for a bit, but keep mixing it and it'll get smoother. Give it a good beating. More milk. And what we're going to do is we're going to keep it thicker than you would usually make cheese sauce, just so it can set and we can put it into the chicken easier. Rest of the milk, you don't want to put all the milk in at once, because then your flour's not going to soak it up and thicken it properly, and it'll also taste grainy. Like sauce, and then I'm going to add cheese. You only need about 300 grams of cheese. I've used red Leicester because of the colour. You can use cheddar. Lower the temperature down to lower. I've also used the medium strength cheese because it'll leave, stronger the cheese the more grainier the cheese is, so it doesn't melt as good. You want it to be as smooth as possible. Right, we've also got a bit of chili powder and a bit of mustard powder. I've used about half a teaspoon of chili powder and an eighth of a teaspoon of mustard. Just going to let that cook a bit. It's important for you to taste it because you like spicy stuff, or if you don't like spicy stuff. Or if it's salty or not salty, I'm going to add a bit more salt to it. I've just added an extra 100 grams of cheese. So it becomes really cheesy. I'm just slowly letting that melt. Just be careful, just because it will catch on the bottom and you don't want it to catch. So just keep giving it a stir and it will get smoother. I've not put any peppers in it, I've just kept it with just salt, mustard powder and chili powder. And then I'm going to just leave it in the fridge to thicken up till it's cold, and then I will get back to you when I'm stuffing the chicken. Right guys, so I've got some chicken here now, so I'm going to stuff them with the cheese sauce. The cheese sauce is set and I'm going to show you how to do it. So I've got 4 breasts here. I'll have more than enough cheese sauce, so I'm going to keep the cheese sauce in the freezer for other stuff, so it's not a waste. So each breast's got bits of like fat and like got which you want to take off, all the excess, like this. Right, so what I'll do is put that to one side. I'll start with this one. Some of them are fillets, some of them don't. Get the bigger bit of the chicken and slice it not all the way, so like an inch, and make a pouch, just like that. So you're sort of butterflying it, but you're not. And with your finger just pull it apart a bit so you don't slice all the way through. Like that. I'm going to do the rest. So knife in and slice, pull apart like that. Slice, pull apart, and then the last one. Right, so I'm going to wash my hands. So the cheese sauce, you can see how thick it's become. It's like a paste. So what we're going to do is open these up. Wind that one down a bit. Spoon a good amount into it. Push it over like that. Same again with the other ones. Push it in. That one's fill that one up a little bit, too much. Now that one, here again. Push down into all the holes, fold over, and then the last one, just like that. So, see, that's all the cheese sauce I've got left. I'm just going to freeze that down, make some cheesy chips or something. So I've got my 4 chicken here. I'm going to just clean down, wipe up, get all this raw chicken off everything, and I'll be back with breading and panko in the chicken. What I'm going to coat the chicken with is some panko, which is Japanese breadcrumb, dried up, and it gives it a better crisp, and also some tortilla crisp or some nachos. I'm just going to crunch them till they go fine. Roughly want it to be about that. You want it flaky, gives the texture and the flavour. So with this I'm going to add 2 bags of panko breadcrumbs. So in this bowl I've got panko and the nachos. And I've just got some paprika. I'm going to use about just less than a tablespoon. In. I've just got this salt and peppery sea salt and mixed peppercorn, which I just got in the cupboard, so I've just used that. You can use normal peppers and normal salt and just mix it up. I'm just going to put them in a wider tray so I can break from the chicken a lot easier. So breadcrumbs, egg. I put 6 eggs and a drop of milk. And then some plain flour. Like that. Alright, so get your first bit of chicken, dip it in the flour just to coat it, you don't need much on it, shake it off a bit, like that, into the egg, and then into the panko. Use your other hand so your hands don't get everything coated on it. Back into the egg. Then into the breadcrumbs. Make sure it's all covered. And then onto a tray. Next, chicken, flour, egg. Where's that one? And then panko. Back into the egg. Right guys, so I've got a pan full of oil. I'm just going to deep fry these chicken Kievs so they get a crust and seals up, and then we will put them in the oven. So just in. I'd advise you not to use a thin pan like this and to use a thicker pan, but this is the only one big enough for this chicken. So all we're doing is golden brown. Just going to flip it so it doesn't catch on the bottom. Flip it over again. Just because it's shallow, so it'll brown on the bottom. I don't want it to burn. And then straight onto a tissue to get the grease off. And then onto a tray ready for the oven. I'm just going to do the rest of them and then I'll get back to you when I put them into the oven. So I put them in the oven, you can't see it's a bit dark in there. And it's going to be in there for 20 minutes on gas mark 6, which is 200 degrees Celsius. And we'll be back when they've done. Right guys, I've just took it out of the oven. It was in for 20 minutes, bang on. And I'm going to just cut this open and show you what's inside. and that's how it should be. Thank you for watching this video. Please like and subscribe, and we'll see you next week.